this is one of the biggest drafts that both these teams will have in the entire fall, maybe the entire year. And they're going for the Darius and the Kid. It's, you know, reasonable, especially because his pet Riven was taken away. And the Galio is solid. You know how I do not like Vi, but you know, if you can get the early game start, then go for it, I suppose. This Fiora, I mean, we're kind of all over the place here. The Aria was taken away from Vaya as well. Oh my goodness, we are going down the rabbit hole with this Let's Pick.
Yeah, I do have a point to bring up here. You know, okay, you mentioned D2, your, you know, pretty much dislike of the champion Vi. I remember during the Summer Super Cup, there was a sort of like bad luck strain with Olaf and Team Secret as well, so much so that we called him the harbinger of death when it came to Team Secret matches. And One Team and Vi, they haven't seen a lot of success, yet they still push this champion. I mean, what do you think is the...
Sorry,
okay. What do you think is going on here with the Nunu and the Soda on the other side? I mean, any thoughts on this overall draft?
Yes, Kimmy mentioned this multiple times that One Team will not mess around. They will bust out the Lux Sona when they feel like their opponents are disrespecting them with their bottom lane picks. And they're going with that right now. And let's see if it works out in this game.
Here's my worry. This is a lot of AP. This is actually pretty easy to build defense against for MBR. If they build magic resistance, they cancel out an awful lot of what's been drafted so far. So there's an over-reliance on AP damage in this draft. And then also, I'm looking at the One Esports draft right now, and it's very focused on the mid to late game. They're going to be very vulnerable during the opening moments of the game. And that's where we actually saw MBR kind of take advantages during the best of two they played earlier today during that tied best of two. We had game number one where One Team relied on a strong start and they didn't get it because MBR can fight them early. And I kind of see this happening again. I think I might change my prediction. Mika, it's MBR all the way for me.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, if MBR has TJ's vote, I still think that One Team can definitely pull through. D2, I think you're still on board with One Team, but I gotta say, this
I'm sweating, Mika. I'm sweating.
I know. I'm sweating too, but this is going to be a very, very important matchup. This is MBR versus One Team. Casters, take us into the rift.
Thank you a bunch, Mika. You know, we're in here, we're out here watching MBR versus One Team. I'm giving it some with Omo. I don't know, we're in the arena, we're in some space. This is the internet. This is how we do things here, Omo. And we're not flip-floppy. TJ has switched his prediction around. It's MBR for him. Well, One Team has something to say about that. It's that Sona Lux. I've never thought I've had to say the same words in the same sentence. There's two names together. But it looks like this is the game for it.
I'll be honest with you, I really hate Sona Lux. I understand the power, I understand the idea, but as a viewer, it's just not very fun to watch, isn't it?
Well, there we go. I mean, it's part sportsmanship, it's part gameplay, it's part mechanics. Overall, though, let's see how they're gonna make this one work, because like TJ mentioned, it is a lot of magic damage. Pretty easy to draft to get out to defend against.
Yeah, really good.
So it's going to come down to a lot of mechanical skill. MBR, like they mentioned, on their good days, when the ping is in their favor, when the wins are on their side, they are nigh unstoppable. On One Team, they have a track record and they're good.
It really does seem that way, right? I mean, when we think about One Team, I always bring up the point. These guys were finalists in the Summer Cup as well, so we expect a lot from them. But MBR, they have been impressing us. And I think a point that we need to touch on is, in the Summer Cup, no Indonesian teams made it out of groups. MBR, they are the first ones. They are looking to light the torch for future Indonesian teams. And are they a damn good example of what they can do? I mean, I think Radiance is a key player for this team. Onion King is so good, but across the board, there's really no slouches here. They're all more than capable of doing their job. And if you look at this draft, I actually really like what MBR have here. They have the ability to split push, camp for picks, wave clear. They really do it all. One team, they can only team fight, but Onion King...
Oh no, this might be it though. Kid here has his number. He's gonna flash onto Onion King, the counter flash away from the Fiora. Elvis is joining up in the top side, now has a level advantage, so might be able to find something in this process. Has the aftershock. Will take a couple turret shots and back off.
He does indeed. Just trying to bail Onion King out of here, out of a little bit of trouble. And Onion King will just shove the wave into the turret, get the crash, and back off. Pretty good situation from losing the trade.
I love when you say it. He does indeed. You know, he just confirms it. You know, so I know I'm not going crazy. I know that I am, in fact, watching the same thing as you.
We are indeed watching the same game. That is true. And yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the team comps very quickly, right? If you look at one team's team composition, sorry to break the point.
Yes,
apart,
sir.
but
No, please,
I
go
really
ahead.
want to finish this thought. Yeah, like,
Yes.
I feel like they just do one thing, right? We always talk about Vi being one-dimensional champion. They really doubled down on it with this Sona Lux combo, and then they have a Galio, which is gonna be, you know, rather supportive as well, has damage later. We're gonna have to hold that thought as Kid in trouble, no flash.
Round 2, Blanky may play it towards the top side again, finds a knockout, finds a crowd control barrier is still available, gonna use it early though, and that's first blood over to MBR.
It is indeed, and that's going to be a good start to things for them. Elvis picks that one up as well, so he's going to be rolling around with a bit of gold in his pocket. That's always a good start as well. I mean, if you look at one team's team composition, the Vi, the Sona Lux, everything in this just screams we want a 5v5. The Darius as well, his weak side pick. It's not going to be a bit cheeky there for Bayer. Yeah, it's not going to be a big threat by himself up against this Fiora. And with Onion King having a lead as well, I also love that Elvis is just camping lane, making sure that Onion King can find the leads that he needs. It's looking to be a good start here for MBR. One team, they should have better control of objectives, they should have better control of dragons, heralds, but if Onion King can find avenues to split push and not tunnel on coming to the fight for these objectives, I expect MBR to do quite well.
But it's also going to be very critical how these teams play around these neutral objectives. The fact that Dragon and Rift Herald are coming up pretty soon, we have to watch towards Onion King though. This is going to face off against one team who have found the damage to land onto him. Oh! Beautiful use of the ultimate there, just to confirm that kill early. Don't want to run any risk. They're going to play towards the Rift Herald side as well.
They are indeed, and I think Rift Herald side, it's going to be
Thank
so
you,
big
Omo.
for either one of these teams. I mean, MBR, they want the Rift Herald to snowball the Fiora. One team, they want the Rift Herald to break open mid lane and get the tempo of the game going, get the 5v5 started, stop the laning phase. So both of these teams, very different objectives here, already. Pretty similar objectives, but we do see Elvis. Was he trying to find a solo on the Baron?
Well, we're gonna move in towards the Rift Herald now. Senyo still at least has that smite, but it's gonna be pretty close here. Finds it, but Onion King's right there, has his numbers, gonna flash away, but still
That's
comes across with a kill. Su's gonna join in now. They're looking to maybe take down the
huge.
Fiora,
Onion
maybe
King.
take down the Nami, but it's gonna be difficult because Tobu is forced them back into the pit to flash away from the Lux.
Wow.
And it's difficult to pursue, so MBR
Yeah.
will just pick up the one.
Very disciplined as well, opting not to go over the wall there for Onion King. Su tries to steal that one with the Lux laser, won't quite find it. We're gonna see the mid game really get started here as the 1-3-1s are in position. It's gonna be a pretty snooze fest of the mid lane. Ziggs wave clearing against Sona Lux, but it depends on who gets the push first, and that's how they get to influence the rest of the map. The key matchup to look out for right now, we really need to be looking for Onion King. His gold has kind of gotten even out against Kid right now, who found a kill of his own. Now he's sitting even a little bit of gold ahead of Onion King, and it's gonna be a very exciting 1v1 to watch.
Absolutely, and we're also starting to see some presence coming through from the Vi, making a vicious move towards the Rift Herald. Things were looking pretty close there. You saw the Ziggs ultimate come across.
Yep.
They were able to secure it, so I'm quite curious how they're playing this one out and what they're going to get done here.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of these teams, they really just want to be looking to push out the mid wave as fast as they can and use that tempo to really look for control on the map. We're just going to see some resets right now, so not too much is going to be happening. Main thing I want to look out for is I want to see Elvis keep visiting the Baron lane. I love how respectfully Kid is playing by not, tunneling in on just contesting the wave, looking for fights with the Fiora. He's waiting to catch the wave. He's waiting to clear it out under his tower, waiting for his opportune moment to farm, not taking any risk, knowing that the win condition from MBR is in his lane. We just need to not let Fiora pop off. And we're seeing the MBR special. The spooky ghosts are coming out already.
Oh yeah, the first one on the board for Tobu. So I'm curious to see how much that's going to be the case. Also, a lot of emphasis towards Merc threats this game.
Yep.
The only person that's deviated from
A lot of
that
magic.
is going to be Kid. That's the main focus. You're going to try and watch out for this. Nice use of the repulse. Elvis coming in from the flank. Doesn't realize he was waiting in the brush, but he still has the aftershock. So very tanky overall. Difficult for one team to collapse on.
Yeah, good job here from Siu and Ninja 7. It's exactly like we talked about, right? Both of these teams are going to race to push the mid wave. When they do, they will rotate to the key lane matchup, which is going to be this Baron lane. Here we go, Snowball comes in, a very respectfully played from one. They correctly identify, they know that MBR, they want to play for this lane, they can only play for this lane, and this is going to be a good punish here. Laser to clear out the wave, Herald at mid lane, one team throw down the gauntlet.
Fast moves rotating around, but still out of mana, so it could be a little bit difficult to fight around the river here. They do manage to get the jump onto Elvis first, but over on the other side, Onion King is still a massive threat. We jump onto the back, he's jumping onto the Soda, should be able to take him down. Beautiful flash away by Ninja 7, so they haven't been able to find anything just yet. Kids on the pursuit, he had to burn the flash, but he wasn't able to get the Noxus Guillotine, not able to get the resets in the mid lane. They take down Radiance. One team find a kill.
Did one team really take down Radiance, or did Radiance do that to himself? I think that's a debate that we really need to have. He uses the flash, all the charges of the Spirit Rush, just to hit the turret. And yeah, it's not a great start to the game for him. Looking for the picks, not quite able to find it. That's going to be one team picking up a kill there.
It's pressure, it's nerves, it's been a long day for these guys, and they definitely are looking to try and end things off strong, but it's difficult. Don't get me wrong. Taking a look towards back the items because I find this quite interesting as well. Okay, so no ghosts, no ghosts for the Nunu, right? No ghosts for Nunu and Willem. And we also start to see Triforce and Hourglass available for Senyo. And so the Vi Glass Cannon. Is this right?
I mean, that's typically what Vice go for when they have a good early game, right? You don't want to be forced to be building full tank because you really just get so useless if you go full tank. All you really do is you jump into the back line and that's it. You're done for. Your contribution to the team fight, that's about it, all you got. You need to have some damage, get on the back line, and follow that up. So I do like that he has the aftershock as well as the Zhonya's. Really inflate his artificial tankiness while he's focusing on doing damage. I mean, overall, I just don't like Vi as a champion, right? I completely agree with you about that. But I think that this is the optimal way to do it. Especially when you're playing such a low damage team composition. You need damage.
Look, D2 came on the broadcast, and what does he want? He wants to destroy Vi as a pick. He's come on here, and he's basically said, yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I love Wild Rift. I love what was doing in the C Championships. By the way, I hate Vi. Vi is a bad champion. But one team are still looking to make it work. They're trying to play it as that full burst kind of champion. Has the damage to take down the squishies.
It really baffles me. If you want to play a champion like Vi with this competition, aren't you better off playing Xin? Aren't you better off playing Olaf? Why Vi? You know, that's what I really don't understand. But, you know, that's a question we'll have to ask one team another day when we have an interview with them.
Well, point and click is easy, right? Point and click is easy to make sure it's consistent. It's probably one of the better ways to get in. Xinjiang might be a little bit different.
If you have to rely on point and click, maybe just don't be a pro player.
Oh, fighting words out from Mr. Omo. The fighting words are through.
Right? I feel like that can't be the only reason.
Well, I mean, it's probably not the only reason, but I don't doubt that the consistency of a Vi could go into play. And here we are debating out the efficacy and the suitability of Vi within pro play. While D2, you know, he's going to have an entire segment about this afterwards. We don't have to do this, Omo. I'm going to leave it for him.
We're going to let him chill. We're going to let him deal with that one. But right now, let's take a look at the game state. Let's see how things are going. Still pretty even for now. Goat is basically dead even, just a couple hundred, setting these two teams apart. But Onion King, he's starting to do work here on this turrets, and he's starting to inflate his gold. Picked up the top turret by himself when one team were getting the dragon. Now he's going to... Yeah, this is never going to work against Vi, right? Your Q is never going to hit her, and your outfit is never going to hit her because she has repulsed. But I do like that he's getting the space to start doing work on these turrets, and this is going to be a very important timing here for MBR. Nice charm.
Nice catch on the kid, so they're looking for a little bit of damage on the Darius. The Ignite comes across, but the rest of the team is coming in as well, tied away from Tobu from far away. And while we have this time, let's quickly touch on this once again. This is the upper run layoff as they try to jump in onto the Ziggs. Won't be able to get the follow-up CC across. One team will only have that. That's why we go for the Vi? Omo, are you sure?
That is why you go for the Vi. It's just that it's useless.
Yeah, so once again, this is for the upper brackets. This is to go in the playoffs while still in the upper brackets. You can squeeze in through 4th, but you'll start in the lower brackets and you only have a single chance.
You do. You only have a single chance, and I do believe that means that, correct me if I'm wrong here, but that means that you will be facing the loser of one of the upper bracket fights between the 2nd and 3rd seed, right? So the 4th seed team will be waiting in the loser's bracket for the loser of the matchup between the 2nd and 3rd seed. I know it's all very abstract now, but once we finish the group stages tomorrow, it'll be much easier for us to have a better idea and understanding of how this is all going to shape up.
Well, we're also looking to see how this one shapes up between one team and MBR because they found the crowd control locked down onto the Ari. The Noxus Guillotine comes across. That's the first kill. We're looking, that's the second. We're looking to see if one team can maybe make something happen. The answer is a resounding
no. They get 1 kill onto Radiance, but that's about it. Love it. Love it. Just use Absolute Zero, clear out that wave, chomp down on that
Onion
creep as
King.
well.
Come on, buddy. This isn't fair. He's just split pushing. They don't have a way to respond to this. And
They
even
really
once
don't.
they go up into the Baron lane,
That
they're
team
still going to
comes
be
to
late. Look at Baya. He doesn't get anything done.
Fire
against
gets
the
solo
Fiora.
killed here. Look, he can't even walk up. He cannot walk up because he will just get ran down. Onion King, he is the win condition right now. I cannot emphasize this enough. We spoke about this briefly in the matchup between Team Secret. I forgot who it was against. But Team Secret, one of their matches today was against the Fiora. We talked about the Fiora timer. Unfortunately, oh, Team Flash. That's right. It was a Team Flash game. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in their favor. But this time around, Onion King, as well as all of MBR, they see a better understanding of what they need to do to make this Fiora work. They understand that we don't need to force fights on you. We need to keep you interested, keep you distracted, while Onion King takes the tower. We don't need to all in. We don't need to commit. Here we go. Onion King is gonna... This is gonna be a very pivotal decision here. Does he come
They're a
down
little
for
bit
the fight?
tantalizing here, Omo. You know, a little bit tantalizing. They're gonna flash in
Here we go.
with the tidal wave. They find the snowball. That's a crowd control locked up on the Ninja 7 9 chop over on the other end, but a Crescendo will come across. Crowd control not available. Is not on demand.
Oh boy,
as
Onion
one
King.
team that's split between both sides, trying to buy as much time as he can. Faces off against the 4.
Nice.
Onion King doing the same up against 3,
Wow.
but will ultimately fall to the vibe. One more auto attack comes across and finds it. It hands over to the enemy to the other side. As it's
Wow.
still down to the remaining members of one team trying to make things happen,
take
but
the
they
team fight.
can't not, and MBR come ahead in the team fight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I always say, please do not team fight with Fiora. But somehow Onion King makes it work. He bought so much time. He made one team expend so many resources. They had 3 members chasing Onion King that entire time, and it gave the rest of MBR enough space to win team fights. Really amazing stuff coming in from him. I do want to point out as well, we talked about how one team had a lot of magic damage, but so does MBR. Fiora, Onion King, he's the only... I can hear the ghost of TJ laughing in my ear as we came back to the stream.
Yeah, we still hear the ghost of TJ coming back into us. It's an interesting one for sure. We're back against MBR in one team. And 4-4 apiece, Inferno Drag went into MBR, so the next one is going to be the Cloud Elder. It's a pretty fast one, pretty accelerated here, Omo.
It is indeed, and we're gonna see how this one plays out, but I do like that Onion King, he's starting to itemize his magic resistance. He knows it's the only real damage source from one team outside of this Darius and the Divide, which he can very easily outplay. Now they want Radiance though, he sees them with what?
Spots them over by the side, and Elvis is trying to come in to respond. That's the power of the Ziggs clearing out waves from a
Yep.
distance away.
That's why I always
Think
call
he's gonna get
Ziggs
out.
a champion that cheats the game. He cheats the way the game is supposed and meant to be played. That's why he's so strong right now.
Really well response there
Oh boy.
from one team, but they're
Here
trying to
we
jump
go.
into Elvis, but it's really just Nuno. Look at how tanky he is. Look at how much time he's
a
buying. The
tanky
laser
boy.
comes across. It does nothing. One team is still chasing after the Nuno. They finally flash in, commit
Onion King, why are you
everything to
coming?
take him down.
This is the sort of thing that really gives me an aneurysm. Like, why are you coming here when you can
An
break the ball in here
aneurysm.
too?
Oh my goodness. Oh,
No,
that is it.
legitimately, like, I just do not understand why Fioras love the group of their team. It's my pet peeve, and I really hate to see it. I understand he wants to stop the Baron attempt, but realistically, what are you really gonna do in this team fight?
Well, they're here to commit. They're here to put some pressure in the mid
find
lane.
out.
One team start the Baron first. Onion King, he's here, like you mentioned. He's here to start up the Baron. There we go. Ziggs ultimate comes across the flash. Crowd control laid onto the squishy members of MBR. And it might go down, but one team haven't been able to find the first one just yet. The shield from the Gallo comes across to keep kids safe, but it's difficult for them to find more. Spirit rushing left, right, left again. Radiance will find himself back in the mid lane, but not with a single kill.
Okay, you know what? I take that back. Onion King's a bit of a smurf. He somehow gets into the team fight, takes no damage, because that's right. One team's team composition has no damage, and he just slides his way right out.
Analysis.
Yeah, I think Onion King identified that, you know what, I'm tanky enough. We have the Nami shields, Nami heals that can just come in, do the damage, and get out. I still don't like the approach. I feel like he could have gotten more by like pushing mid, responding a bit later, something along those lines. But still, it worked out for him, and you know, props to him.
Well, understanding what they need to get done, Onion King was able to get into the pit, and well, there's some analysis, there's some result-based analysis there, Omo. It's bad until it
It's
is
bad.
good.
Nope, it's just bad. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, just keep
All
pushing.
right,
man.
still wasn't the best play. Still could have found more value somewhere else. Onion King's gonna get caught out a little bit late on the crowd control. They're gonna miss out on the crescendo. It's gonna be pretty big without that Sonar spell. The Sonar ultimate not able to do all too much. Elvis, look at how tanky he is. He's soaking up the front line. One team, no damage, no chance. Kid's next to fall. Elvis moves on to the back line to flash away. Ninja 7 gets rooted up. This is it falling apart. A composition with no damage available will lose the MBR, who are here to collapse in on you, who are chasing you down, and Onion King leading the charge. I mean, what more can I say?
We talked about how one team is the team composition that wants to group as 5, that wants to run at you with numbers advantage, but they're not going to be able to do that. It's the split pushing comp that's running down the 5v5 team comp. Tell me something crazier, Gaminism. I can't imagine this happening. One team, they tried so hard to force the play onto Onion King. Once again, he outplays. This Spirit Visage buy has been huge for him, but I feel like the biggest problem of all, one team, your draft approach needs to be better. Look at this. What Ninja is trying to be the TP.
Oh, what is happening? Ninja, I don't think that's the correct play there, but he misses out on the crescendo as well. It means a difficult one to hit. Look at how slippery the Fiora really is.
Boy.
Onion King is smurfing in this game. Daniel, he's jumping into the pit, but
outsmite
there's just
Nunu.
no chance you outsmite Nunu. Exactly that, Omo. I mean, kid, he's just next to fall. The slows come across. The mana has been topped up by Onion King. It's zoomed. It's disaster. There's not much for one team to do. Kid's gonna fall next as well.
I understand it's been a very long day for these players. It's been a long day for us as well. And one team, their heads are probably not exactly 100% in the game. They were one of our best teams in Summer Cup. They are the #1 seed from the Taiwan region. But they come in here and they are looking lost. They are looking out of it. I would say starting from draft phase, what did we say? One team's team composition has no damage. If you draft the Sonar Lux, you need damage. Vi's not going to give you that damage. Darius barely does. If he stacks up enough stacks of his bleed, you need something like the Olaf. You need something like a Xin Zhao. You maybe even want like a Lucian mid, and this is not it at all. It's just so illegal that MBR's team composition can run you down. It tells you that something is wrong with your draft, something is wrong with your approach towards this game, and one team, they need to get punished now. I think this is going to be really helpful for them for playoffs, and Kid just gets solo boloed.
Yeah, exactly. You say that and Mbaya will fall in the side lane. Onion King, what an absolute smurf in this game here, Omo.
He really is. Onion King has been
Look at that.
off. Look at that.
He's just walking in. They don't care. The tidal wave will set up the charge. They're gonna run right in. The crescendo doesn't stop MBR at all. And in their own base, they show no respect, no face to one team as they move on to the Nexus in 20 minutes. Will find themselves the win and continue deeper into the playoffs.